Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor. Wanted to remind you my sponsor link to, they added Circle private equity yesterday and then they sold out of it. And so I'm going to check and see if they're getting more, but it went quick. I kind of expected that. Link to is in the very top of the description of this video. Now let me show you an interesting video. This is from Black Swan Capitalist. I totally agree with this right here.
Yes, I agree with everything you've said, and I think there are a couple of sinister people, and they're doing it, I think, because we've milked so much out of this system that there is no way back. You can't produce our way out of this problem. So instead you default, you start over, you issue a new system that would be a digital-based system, and would gain acceptance because people would be hurting so badly. When Klaus Schwab says you'll owe nothing and you'll be happy, well, have no fear. We're going to take care of everything you lost, but just sign on the dotted line, accept the new digital currency, and all of your losses will now be in your new digital wallet on your iPhone. Could that happen? Hell yeah. Why not?
Yeah.
And then look at the people that are advising this administration and say, wow, that's scary. That's exactly what they want to happen. So
it is.
Is it true? Is it conspiracy? I don't know.
Conspiracy.
I agree with everything you've said.
You can call it conspiracy, call it whatever you want. But I do believe that what we've been watching in this country for the last probably at least 10 years is a controlled demolition of the financial system. I think that they decided at some point that there was no saving it, there was too much debt, and I believe that this is what the plan was. And I believe digital assets have everything to do with it. Not only that, but I also believe they are intentionally trying to infuriate us. Look at what's going on around us. Everything that's going on doesn't make any sense. Does it make any? I'll just say this: FTX. This is the new narrative that's going on. Just in bankrupt, FTX begins process to relaunch the exchange. Okay, and I said here it's like government's trying to piss us off. Well, I believe that's exactly what they're trying to do, and I don't know why, but I think that is becoming more and more obvious. Let me ask you a question. Now, if I was in charge of the FTX bankruptcy, do you know what the first thing I would say would be? I would say, look, if you guys think that we can rehatch this thing, don't just go and put out a press release saying FTX, we're gonna begin the process of relaunching the exchange. No, there are so many people that got burned. You don't put that out. What you put out is FTX has been able to save some of the, recoup some of the money. It'll be launched. Relaunch. You don't even have to say it's going to be relaunched. You can just relaunch the thing, but just call it a different name. But that's the first thing you'd think about it. Look, you can't relaunch this in the same name. That's what in my part of the country we call that pissing in somebody's Cheerios, folks. That's the tell to me that this is they're intentionally trying to gaslight us, is what that says to me. Coins Kid, my Bitcoin maxi friend, just bought some XRP. That doesn't surprise me. We all know where this is going. Now, check this out. Joseph Lubin surfaced yesterday, and it was right in conjunction. Mr. Huber had tweeted out that Consensus had revamped their entire website. They're trying to get rid of all evidence of ETHgate. And then Joseph Lubin decides to double down and basically take a shot at Gary Gensler and say it doesn't matter what he thinks.
And almost out of time. Just in terms of what you would say to regulators that are trying to say that Ethereum is a security and should be treated as such.
Well, regulators have spoken. The SEC has spoken. Bill Hinman made a speech. I think it was in mid-2018. It was disclosed that I think 18 of his colleagues at the SEC worked on the speech with him. So the SEC actually spoke. The CFTC has spoken very crisply. These are U.S. agencies, very crisply a number of times that they consider.
Where is this guy's lawyer telling him to shut up? That's what I keep wondering.
Ether a commodity and not a security. And so it's really a foregone conclusion at this point. There may be a regulator or two in the United States that can't bring himself to utter the fact that Ether is not a security, but I don't know why that's the case, and ultimately that just doesn't matter.
So Gary Gensler does not matter. And I think Ashley Prosper hit it right here. I imagine we'll be seeing some of these people's images again next time related to a DOJ investigation. I also imagine a certain bank would be happy to acquire more of a certain company should one or more of its founders find themselves otherwise occupied with law enforcement. And don't forget, these are the Ethereum founders. There's several of them that are from Canada. I believe Vitalik was, Gavin was, we know Joseph Lubin was, I think Anthony Diorio was. I don't know if any other ones. But remember, Stephen Narioff, when he was on stage in that one video I've shown, he said that one of them said, I don't really care what the U.S. thinks because I'm from Canada, and wasn't too worried about going to jail. So we'll see. These guys sure do seem arrogant. And then check this out. Jay Clayton decides he's going to come out and throw on the same day and throw Gary Gensler overboard.
Let's take this to a very high level on the regulatory side. What you're hearing from the leaders of the regulatory organizations is if we're not losing cases, if we're not being pushed back on by the courts, we're not doing enough. Think about that for a second. That is a fundamental shift in how we as Americans view the role of the government. I don't want to be in a place where I know the government is going to bring cases they think they're going to lose. Imagine you're the person who is the subject of that case. Now, we're talking about corporations.
Yeah, to see if they can, and if they're not stopped, they're going to, yeah.
Right, but this is an ethos now, which is, unless we're losing, we're not...
No pun intended, ethos.
...bringing enough cases. That may be fine for private litigants against each other and think about it, but when you have the power of the state, and you're supposed to only bring cases and only make rules that you think are going to pass judicial muster.
All of that was said by the guy who literally dropped the case against Ripple as a weapon to tie them up for the last couple of years. Unbelievable, the arrogance, and unbelievable that we have a media now that doesn't push back on him and say, wait a minute, that's what you did with Ripple, and then left. Now, I find it interesting that Jay Clayton comes out against and basically throws Gary Gensler under the bus about a week after the official cool guy does his Trumer show. And Brian, what's his name? Brian Costello said this.
And the only place the Democrats haven't gone after the Trump administration is at the SEC. And I was told by someone, and I'm actually told Clayton hates Gensler now, that he's like not happy with him, from someone that actually has talked directly to Clayton. And
So Clayton hates Gensler now. We heard that just a week ago. Now Clayton decides to throw him under the bus. I guess that the cat is out of the bag. Meta Lawman was giving an update on all the different crypto lawsuits, and this is the part where he covers Ripple. He says SEC versus Ripple, waiting for critical ruling from Judge Torres on cross motions for summary judgment. Open question whether the judge will address secondary sales of XRP. SEC. So anyway. I find hard to believe that this judge, having seen everything she's seen about the uproar by over 75,000 people over this, and would not even address secondary sales. I find that hard to believe or imagine. Just as I find this hard to believe. This tweet, remember, Altcoin Daily is Bitcoin, Ethereum maxis. For them to tweet this, XRP is ready to explode. This will send it. XRP price prediction. I don't know, that must be a title of their show or whatever. Listen to this girl who is a developer. Listen to what she says about building NFTs on the XRP ledger?
I'm a multi-chain artist, so I have NFTs on Ethereum, I have ordinals on Bitcoin, I have NFTs on Polygon, I did one on BNB. So XRP Ledger is my next venture experiment. In the artsy NFT world, things that are new are hot. That is the advantage that the XRP Ledger in particular has, is that it's new, but also it's fast. It's literally lightning fast. And that I had not experienced on Ethereum or Polygon. So that was actually a big advantage I saw. I do believe it's undervalued, but I also believe Bitcoin is undervalued. If they win, it's going to go up. I'm a
All right. So she's just figuring out how fast XRP is, but she also figured out how inexpensive it is. This lady it's an epiphany going on.
Right. The XRP Ledger was very late because it is decentralized. A lot of people don't know this, but it is decentralized. So the nodes had to vote for it to go live, and it went live like literally right during the bear, right after. The XRP Ledger was very late because it is decentralized. A lot of people don't know this, but it is decentralized. So the nodes had to vote for it to go live, and it went live.
She's just learned it's decentralized, it's fast, and it's really cheap. She can't believe it compared to Ethereum.
Like literally right during the bear, right after the crash at probably the worst possible time. So people haven't really heard about it yet. And there's not a lot going on in the ecosystem. To me, it's brand new compared to everybody else. And I wanted to just like be first and test it out. And so far it's been a really great experience. You know, I've obviously been in NFTs a while. I've bought and sold NFTs on different blockchains. And what I like about the ledger is it's fast and there's not very high fees. That was one thing I hated with the Ethereum NFTs. When everyone was trying to buy them, I'd have to pay $100 gas fee, sometimes $500 gas fee. It just got like so crazy for me. But ultimately, it's because I wanted to experiment because it's new.
You mean like we've been saying for the last 5+ years that Ethereum makes no sense, that Bitcoin and Ethereum appear to be like a prototype when XRP has always been the one? You mean like that? It's unbelievable to watch all of these people like they've just figured this out. When, you know, we've been sitting here having people take shots at us and acting like we didn't know what we were talking about for how many years, and now all these people act like they've just discovered a gold mine. It's unbelievable. Because this wasn't like hard to figure out. This is common sense. I mean, it's like what? I've been sitting here literally watching CNBC and watching social media, crypto media, for really since 2013 or 14, and going, what is it that I remember the first time I ever sent XRP, and I actually typed it up over here. From the first time I sent XRP, I asked the same question I'm asking now. Why would anyone use Bitcoin or Ethereum when they can use this? It's always been more efficient, faster, cheaper, everything. It's never made any sense to me. Still doesn't make any sense, the Bitcoin Ethereum thing. Bank of America says tokenization could transform financial, non-financial infrastructure and financial markets over the next 15 years. You think? Look, we've got Brooks Entwistle from Ripple. He was spotted at the .0 forum. Then Jeremy Hogan, not even JP Morgan settles a case for $290 million unless there's a there. Once again, money buries evil secrets. Horrible. $290 million settlement approved in suit accusing JP Morgan of ignoring you-know-who, the island guy's sex crimes. And then finally, BlackRock shocked Wall Street with Bitcoin.
What does it mean now for Fidelity to also be entering the scene? We haven't seen one from every major ETF company, but this certainly seems like the direction of travel is more institutional.
There's definitely been a wave of filings following BlackRock's, I think we've been calling it shock filing or shock application, which was really important for crypto fans and for the crypto industry in general, given the stature that BlackRock holds on Wall Street and elsewhere, where maybe you had some analysts potentially saying that BlackRock might know something that others might not know or be aware of, where they might be more certain that they could get approval from regulators, which obviously we've not seen in the past.
And we're not seeing that approval yet, but we are seeing other assets tied to futures start to come to market, just one starting to trade today that you've written about, the trading has been a bit volatile. What is the reception for futures ETFs when people are still so excited about the even potential for a spot?
Yeah, so we have a 2x Bitcoin futures ETF that started trading just today, which I think also was another shock development for a lot of crypto fans because regulators have been so hesitant in the past to greenlight any such a thing. We have to remember a spot Bitcoin product does not yet exist. It's not by no means certain that regulators will actually greenlight one or that they will approve one, even if it's coming from BlackRock or whoever else. The Fidelity filing hasn't hit yet if one does.
So Wall Street is shocked. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, tell your friends and family that Wall Street has been shocked. And we're shocked by buried evil secrets. Thanks for listening.